Oh God, I so want tacos right now. All right. Anyway, we are live. Welcome everybody to episode 14, I believe. Two Sweet Converse 14. Wow, pretty crazy. I am Nico.
Steve-O here.
Wildcard.
EJV.
Steve-O, are you drinking
All
a beer?
right, everyone.
Drinking a Fresca. What the hell is that?
Oh,
Fresca.
yeah, looks like what is that, Dr. Pepper?
Diet Dr. Pepper. Tastes the same
Diet
as regular.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. It's
Uh,
Diet Dr. Pepper, folks. He's being
yeah.
very...
Disclaimer: Dr. Pepper does not endorse Two Sweet Converse.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So, guys,
we are fans of Little Sweet.
Says the man who's drinking a can of Pepsi there.
thank you everyone who watches our shows weekly and gives feedback. We always appreciate it. If you haven't already, please be sure to take our survey. But if you have, thank you very much for doing so. We are always open to more feedback and may look into utilizing it sooner rather than later. But I digress. Let's start this week's topic by our first topic of Impact Wrestling. Does it have the chance to rise up and become a better promotion? We're going off the heels of this past weekend's Slamiversary, as well as the weekly Impact Wrestling show. Lots have gone on. We've seen returns. We've seen some debuts. Some title changes have happened. So let's get into the topic. Who would like to take this one to start? EJV.
Any promotion on the planet has the chance to really be a better promotion, and Impact Wrestling is one of them. It's risen up from the grave numerous times already, and there's been times where it seems like they're going to go to that next level, and then for some odd reason, it just falls apart. Whether it be management, whether it be just talent leaving, going to other companies, ratings. In this case, it could be a better promotion, but the one thing it's missing is just a wider television audience. Access TV is very limited on certain cable providers. And unfortunately, providers like Xfinity, which is a very popular provider here in our neck of the woods, does not have Access TV. The only way you can watch it is on Twitch, and a lot of people don't use Twitch or don't know how to use the platform. So a lot of people are not able to catch Impact when it's live. That's the only one thing that's keeping them from really getting to the upper echelon. They've got the talent. They've got the storylines. They got great guys behind the scenes who can help build their brand. And with the recent hirings of Heath Slater, Gallows, Anderson, the return of the Motor City Machine Guns, the return of EC3, they're bringing back or bringing in high-level talent, and they can finally showcase them, and they can also put them in great stories, as we're starting to see build as of the other night on Impact Wrestling. They have all the tools in the world right now to really build this promotion to be big. Is it going to be as big as WWE or AEW is right now? That remains to be seen. That's all subjective at the end of the day. But all I can say is I hope for the best for Impact. I hope they could really bring it forward. They can really showcase what they're about, and really put their name back out in the world of professional wrestling and be on the tip of everybody's tongue like they used to be back in the early 2000s. All I can say is just good luck and best wishes to Impact Wrestling.
All right. Who would like to take this one next?
I will go.
Go for it, brother.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off of what E said, any wrestling is great. Slamiversary was awesome. It was better than I originally anticipated. It was great seeing Motor City Machine Guns come back. If you follow Impact or TNA, Motor City Machine Guns, even though they are from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, for those of you who don't know the lingo, I loved MCG, and got to meet Alex Shelley with the rest of you guys earlier this year before this pandemic hit. That was pretty cool, So I'm a huge fan of Motor City Machine Guns. Glad to see they're back wrestling as a tag team, and it was cool because Impact has been so good for so many years, but then they fell off because then they tried to be too much like WWE. You can blame management, whoever you want to blame, um, but now it's starting to feel like how it was. Say maybe back like in 2006. I don't want to say 2007, 2008 because that's when it was like really good, but you're starting to get like that vibe a little bit uh, from Impact. To Ezra's point of what he said, it does suck that a lot of cable providers, at least in our area, don't carry Access TV. So we don't get to see that. We kind of have to wait the next day and watch it on a website like Wrestle Your Way or you know wrestling sites just to see the results. So we don't really get to see Impact. I can look up YouTube clips here and there. Um, they have an amazing tag team division. I honestly think they have the best tag team division in North American professional wrestling, counting WWE, um, AEW, Ring of Honor, possibly the entire industry. Uh, no disrespect to any promotion like New Japan or anything, but if you look at the tag teams like the returning Motor City Machine Guns, the North, man, I wrote down a whole list.
Yeah, tag teams like the Rascals and all that. Don't forget the Rascals. Don't forget the teams like TJP, Fall Out Boy, Reno Scum, Ace Austin, and Madman Fulton even.
Yeah, thanks for the save there, brother. You um, you get it. You get what I'm saying though. You get what I'm trying to say. Even with the Good Brothers debuting, Gallows and Anderson, um, and good for those guys. Those guys are hardworking guys. Unfortunately, it didn't work out in WWE. We can speculate what happened there, but like, so going back to Impact, like their tag team division is pretty stacked. I wish they didn't have Josh Matthews doing commentary, but that's a different argument for a different day and a different topic. Uh, but good for those guys. It'd be nice if they can be competing a little bit, but like I said, until they get on a better network, um, and until they have a better idea of what they want to do, what I mean by that is, while it's cool to see somebody like Eddie Edwards get the Impact World title after everything that happened with the whole Tessa Blanchard situation. Unfortunately, that big idea didn't work out or couldn't work out. And I kind of feel like Edwards getting the title at Slammiversary was almost like a fail-safe option. No disrespect to Eddie, he's a great worker. Everybody likes him, but it's just one of those things where you're like, really, Eddie Edwards? Okay. Um, but until they kind of have a better idea of what they want to do with their singles, you know, echelons of talent, then I can really start to say, okay, Impact might be, for real once again. But they're getting there, and we get to see a lot of them when you go to a Warrior Wrestling show in the Chicago area. If you haven't been to a Warrior Wrestling show, I recommend it. Once we're allowed to start going back to shows, they actually are gonna have a show coming up in a few weeks on August 7th. I recommend checking it out. Some Impact Wrestling stars will be there, like Kylie Ray.
All right, thank you, sir. I was really excited to see what Slamiversary offered this past weekend. I mean, there was a time when TNA was thought. I say TNA because, at the time, that's how they got their start there, too. I mean, Impact Wrestling, TNA is pretty much the same. But, I think that, seeing what they did at Slammiversary I felt like it was a nice boost for them. Just because, like I mentioned before, Impact Wrestling at one point was considered to be competition for WWE for good reason, because of the talent that they had at the time. I mean, think about it. You got guys like AJ Styles. You got guys like Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels. Eric Young was even considered a top talent there too. Raven. if you remember the alpha male, Monty Brown, those names there too. I mean, TNA was actually, something that was worth watching. And I fondly remember those days there too. Of course, it was awesome to really see the Motor City Machine Guns come back and do their thing. Much like Nico said, I had the opportunity to meet Alex Shelley, and it was awesome. Mainly because, fun fact is that both he and I actually work in the physical therapy field. So we actually had a chance to chat about that a little bit more than the actual wrestling aspect of his career. So I thought that was really cool to really, get to know him from that aspect there. But to also, get to know him as a wrestler and just be a fan of his work and what he and Chris Sabin has done in Impact Wrestling, whether it be in the X Division or in tag team wrestling. So it was really great to see those guys come back, and it was also really cool to see them win the tag team titles again. Congrats to them, and also congrats to Eddie Edwards for winning the Impact World Championship there too, because I've always been a low-key fan of his work, because he's always been a good worker, whether it be in tag team wrestling or singles competition. But I thought he was actually a good guy to have the belt on. So, I mean, good for him. And as for the rest of guys like Eric Young, Keith Miller, the Good Brothers, you're really happy to see them in Impact Wrestling because I think they're going to do big things there. Now, whether or not they're going to actually make big strides and compete with the WWE and the AEWs of the world, that's hard to say right now. But, I mean, right now they're providing a lot of fans a different alternative right now, especially with Ring of Honor and other indie promotions out of commission right now due to what's going on in the world. But I'm excited for Impact Wrestling right now. I love the talent that's being displayed and showcased, new and old. But we're just going to have to take it day by day, week by week, and see what they can do and see if they can ride this wave out any longer.
Definitely. So, I'll admit it. I've been pretty negative towards Impact Wrestling, or as I say, it's just TNA. Don't give me this Impact Wrestling shit. But they actually impressed me this weekend. I gotta say, definitely I've seen some clips. I've read the results. I think they did a great job. I'm also giving them applause for keeping one of the three people who were already scheduled to be in that fatal 5-way match for the title. Eddie Edwards won. I'm glad to see that. I was a little afraid that this returning wrestler of EC3 will win the title, or this debuting wrestler of Heath Miller or Hero or anyone like that was going to win. I was like, that would be a typical TNA move, but I'm glad they did. They stuck it out and just had one of their current guys win it. So, and yeah, it's nice to see the Motor City Machine Guns back. Great team. Congratulations on your tag title win. I think it's awesome to have someone like Ken Shamrock. He might be up there in age, but he still looks very good, and he still kicking some ass. So it's nice. They got some good talent, both old and new. It looks like they're really trying to make it something, make it a competitive and exciting field. Every year, since let's say 2010, when Hogan and Eric Bischoff came in, everyone would just count down and say, okay, TNA is going to go out of business this year. And looking at it now, they've been around for a long time. They've even outlived WCW, believe it or not, which is pretty crazy if you think about it, considering the popularity WCW has reached. Now, whether or not they can actually reattain the popularity they had in the late 2000s, early 2010s, that's to be determined. They had a good channel on Spike TV, now Paramount Network. It would be nice if they can go back there. They should try to renegotiate something. I doubt that Paramount is doing all that great without them, but that would be nice. I do have Access TV, but I haven't quite commit because you can only watch so much wrestling in a week. I do my best to watch everything, YouTube clips and whatnot, but there's only so much wrestling. But if I hear it keep getting better, I am going to try to add Impact into my regular TV rotation, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I wish them the best of luck. They could be a viable number 3 promotion, or who knows, if they play their cards right, they might give AEW a run. I doubt it, but you never know. So on to the next topic. What do you know? It is an AEW topic. So They just announced this week on Dynamite that there's going to be an AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament Cup. Mind you, it is not for a championship or anything, but they're trying to call together all the women who are feeling they're underutilized or just want to stand out more and get their names out there and just form tag teams. There's going to be a total of 8 teams, 16 women total. They haven't announced the brackets yet or anything like that. It's just a tournament that's coming this summer. We'll see how it goes. I imagine the finals will be at All Out, but that's for further speculation. What do you guys think of this announcement? Do you think it's worth looking into? Do you think there should be a championship? I want to hear your takes. Nico, did you want to start this one off?
Yeah, I'll go because I'll be quick. I don't know because like AEW's women's division, while it's very stacked in the form of like, how do I put this lightly? It has bodies. I'll say like you got people you can put in the spot. Like okay, you can put this person on the show with this person. Okay, go do a match, whatever. But does it have credible talent that makes you feel like, okay, this is believable because I want to watch this. I want to see this team wrestle this team and beat this guy, beat this girl or this girl, and go on to face this girl and this girl in the future. Do you get what I mean? Like they have names on their women's division. Okay, that's great. More power to them. I love watching women's wrestling, but it's kind of hard for me when your best worker you have right now is your singles champion, and then your other best worker is injured and can just cut promos right now because she's in a wheelchair. So it's just interesting to me because I mean, Chris Stanlander isn't the best worker, and her character is meh to me at this point. Nyla Rose, okay, but do I really want to see Nyla Rose in a tag team with somebody? No, I want to see her as a monster destroying people left and right. Do I want to see Brandy Rose and Allie as a tag team? I mean, I like seeing Allie. Brandy Rose is a sweetheart outside the ring, but I don't like seeing her on my TV on Wednesday nights or Tuesdays on YouTube, but whatever. That's what I mean. I mean, you got a bunch of women. Some are very talented, yes. Penelope Ford, very underutilized. She proves she can go at Fighter Fest. But it's just like, do I really want to see these makeshift tag teams that they're going to end up throwing together? That's all I mean.
Who would like to take this one now?
Oh, if you don't mind. When it was first announced, I was kind of perplexed because, like Nico said, it's all going to be makeshift tag teams in the end. There is no credible women's tag teams. The only one they're building in a sense right now is the Nightmare Sisters, Allie and Brandy. And even that's not fully 100% connected there yet. So I'm kind of a little concerned on how they're going to pull this off when there is no credible tag teams on the roster, and to throw a bunch of women together, it's just going to be kind of a weird kind of, I don't know if it's going to be a weird connection between them, but it's going to be probably a weird disconnect with the fans depending on who they throw together. I agree with Nico. We don't need to see Nyla Rose in a tag team tournament. We need to see her out there, as she likes to say, breaking bitches and getting back towards the women's title picture, because that's what her character is like. And that's what her gimmick is like. She's a big, badass woman who will take anybody out. She don't need to be in a tag team tournament where she's, could be held back in some sense. And like I said, without the credible tag teams in the division, I don't know how this tournament's going to work out. I have my doubts about it. But with AEW, they've pretty much done everything right and done slam dunks with most of the ideas that they've had. This one, I just don't know. I'm going to question this kind of a little bit until we see results. That's just my opinion on that.
Wild card, go ahead with your take.
All right, I'll be quick with this one here too. Initially, I thought it was really cool that they would actually do something like that, just so that way they could spice things up in the women's division. But the more that I think about it right now, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of thrown together tag teams. There's not really a legitimate women's tag team unless you count the Nightmare Sisters, Brandy Rhodes and Allie, which even that is, I feel like, is kind of a thrown together tag team. But I feel like that it's gonna cause some kind of disruption within the women's division itself, because it's kind of running low on talent. I mean, we're missing quite a few people from the women's side in the AEW women's division, and I feel like having like thrown together teams is almost like, okay, it's a little bit forced. I mean, I don't think they should really put a lot of attention on that. So I guess I'm kind of half and half with it, but for the most part, it's not something I'm like, all wowed about. So, I mean, but it'll be nice to, add something different, spice things up. I'm always open for something new, especially when AEW comes up with it, because, I mean, it allows them to, showcase some women, the talent in the women's division that we don't necessarily see. So, I mean, if it means more exposure for somebody like, example would be maybe Evilise or Diamante, who we saw last night on Dynamite, I say, why not? I mean, those two right there are good talents, and I could potentially see those two maybe as a tag team, in this tournament. So why not give them a little bit more exposure? But other than that, I'm kind of half and half with it. But I am pretty excited just to see what they have to offer.
Yeah, so I'll get to my thoughts. I won't be too long. But in short, I think that, I do like the idea of doing something to try to elevate the women's division. Admittedly, it's not as strong of a division as, surprisingly, the WWE, NXT, or even Impact. I'd say, in all honesty, all three of those have superior women's divisions, if we're being honest. Not to say the talent isn't great in AEW, but I'd say that they're more developed and well-rounded in those other promotions.
They're not credible. That's the word you're looking for. It's not as credible or believable to the point where you're like, okay, I want to see this. And that's the thing, to kind of piggyback off what you're saying there, Steve. It's just hard for me to think like, okay,
yeah,
I know you need to give the other women a reason to work and to be on TV. Yeah, that's great. I want these women to have a job. I want them to be able to work. But it's like, why do I want to watch this?
Yeah.
What's the reasoning here?
Yeah, I get you. But yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying too there, Nico. Like, yeah, I mean, there are some that are very talented and developed, like Karushida, she's good. Nyla Rose has been making a name for herself. I mean, you could debate what you think about her talent or whatever. Brandy, of course, is well known. Again, debatable on talent, but we got Allie. The Nightmare Sisters is really the only standout team. But in short, I think that what we're going to see happen is we are going to see some alliances developed. We might see like, okay, this will now be a permanent team. The winners of the tournament, of course, we might even see a side team. And we might see the start of some feuds. Like, I mean, they kind of are slowly hinting that, okay, Brandy and Allie are not good allies. I mean, well, they are winning matches, but, obviously they have some, odd couple issues. But, I mean, I think we are going to see full-out feuds begin within the tournaments, whether they get along or they lose, whatever you will. But I do think we're going to see some feuds started from the losers of the tournament. So I'll give it some time, see how it plays out. But, nothing terribly to get excited about. But that's pretty much my take. So moving on from AEW, we're going into WWE in their women's division. A popular hashtag going on Twitter right now is Naomi deserves better. We've seen that being pushed around, especially with Naomi being a former two-time women's champion. She's been featured in a silly karaoke skit that has been panned by the internet, and even was made fun of during the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. And she had a loss to Lacey Evans last week on SmackDown, and what was, I believe, only 2 minutes. So, and in short, also Booker T is also kind of saying against that hashtag, That hashtag could go to hell. People should earn their chances. Not create a hashtag online in order to do so. So I want to hear your guys' take. Do you think Naomi should be pushed? And is there any merit to what Booker T said, or you think he's kind of being harsh? Who would like to take this one?
I was going to give Wildcard the opportunity to start this one off.
All right, then
Sure.
Andy go. Andy go.
All right. Okay. All right. So I'm a half and half about this because I do like Naomi as a women's talent because I feel like she doesn't get a lot of recognition for what she can do because she can wrestle. She's got a good gimmick. She's got good mic skills too. I mean, those three right there, I mean, you'd think that would put you over the top to a certain degree. Not necessarily in this case. I mean, for me, like, it's almost like, okay, why isn't she not getting the opportunities that, that she's claiming that she should have? Because I do agree with, with the fact that, she needs to have a little bit more exposure in the women's division because of how good she is. But I mean, I do kind of agree with Booker that, I kind of that you should earn your opportunities there too, because that's essentially how the business is run anyway. I mean, unless you're, somebody of a Randy Orton type or, the Silver Spoon type, and then you just, are just given those opportunities and then just air quoting earning them, I just kind of feel like that for the most part that I'm a little bit half and half about this too, because I do agree with what Booker is saying. But I'm also in favor of how, Naomi is essentially saying, that she should deserve the right to actually, have like a women's title opportunity, or at least get herself a little bit more in-ring time because, she's decent in the ring. I really like her stuff. I don't really see anything wrong with her. It's just, I just like, it's so like cringeworthy just to really see her go through these like really ridiculous gimmicks. I mean, the karaoke thing was absolutely cringeworthy. It made that this is your life Bailey segment seem a little more legitimate than that. But I digress. And then and if you can remember, also going back, she was part of the Funkadactyls, with Brodus Clay there. And you got to remember that she's actually been through those kind of gimmicks to get to where she is right now. So, long story short, biggest takeaway here, I'm half and half with her, with this whole subject. But I do hope that she does get the opportunity to showcase her skills, because I feel like with the talent that she has and she possesses, it'd be kind of a waste to really let that go.
Definitely. I would say that is a good take. Who would like to take this one next?
Want me to go?
Go for it.
All right. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Naomi Knight from FCW, Trin, which is her real name, I believe, is Trinity. Trin Fatu is an amazing talent. But Booker T is 1000% right. Let me tell you why. And this is what a lot of people forget. Booker T is old school. And what I mean by old school is a lot of you guys forget. In WCW, Booker was a guy who worked his ass off from the bottom, basically dealt with the masters and backstage politicians in Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash. And regardless what you think of those two guys, guess what? They're two of the biggest names ever in the history of the industry in drawing money. And at the end of the day, that's the name of the game, to draw money. Booker T dealt with those guys for years and got nothing. And then all of a sudden, Vince Russo, for as much faults as that guy gets, comes up with the idea about, hey, how about giving Booker T a shot with the world title? How about giving him a run? And they do this angle that was supposed to be, allegedly, where Booker's world champion, and then it throws him in a program with Hulk Hogan for whoever the real world champion is. Who knows how that would have gone out? But you get the idea. And then WCW goes under right when Booker's on top of the world and the world heavyweight champion. And then he has to take a buyout contract to go work for WWE and get thrown at the bottom of the totem pole again. Because you know damn well, if you watch early WWE Booker T stuff from 2001 to 2002, they treated him like crap. And the man grinded and busted his ass. And I'm not trying to compare him to Naomi, but yes, the whole thing of, oh, Naomi deserves better, it's bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit creating hashtags. Oh, this guy deserves better. This person deserves better. This girl deserves better. No, they don't. No, they don't. It's the thing is, can you draw money? Yes, Naomi is athletic. Yes, Naomi has decent mic skills. She's not the best worker, but she can go in the ring. But can she draw money? I'm telling you right now, the whole Feel the Glow thing, the entrance was cool for like what? About a month? And then we're all like, okay. So that's the thing. I don't think she's as big a draw as Becky, Bailey, Charlotte, Sasha. Because do you guys think she can honestly hold the candlestick to Sasha's mic skills? Do you think Naomi could hold the candle to Sasha on the mic?
I'm gonna start off with this, and this is a quote I've learned years ago while watching so many documentaries, listening to Busted Open every week, listening to every program imaginable, and that is, nobody deserves anything. You earn everything. You earn your spot. You earn your championships. You earn your money. That's why the whole Naomi deserves better. While the hashtag is an idea, yeah, to try and get her noticed and to try and say that, yes, she does need to be spotlighted more, and I get that. She does. She's a great wrestler. She's a great, overall competitor. She works hard. There's no doubt. But like Nico said, she in promos, she can't go word for word with Sasha. She can't go word for word with the man Becky. She can't go word for word with, other competitors on that roster because she just doesn't have the mic skills. But back to what I was saying about the nobody deserves anything. Bully has said multiple times, Bully Ray, this is not wrestling friends. This is the wrestling business. It's about, like Nico said, making the dollar, making the money, being a draw. If you're not drawing, you are not doing the company any favors outside of being a good hand. And that, unfortunately, that's where Naomi is at right now. She's being a good hand for the company. And that's that, because she deserves, I'm not going to say she deserves, but yeah, could she be spotlighted more? Yeah, of course. Especially during this when, Becky's gone, Ronda ain't there. Naomi, yeah, she should be spotlighted, but it's just the fact that she's not drawing as much as a lot of people thought. And she needs an upgrade of some sorts, whether it's a different gimmick, something that'll really make her shine above the others.
You can make the argument that a bunch of women, including Naomi, should be put in the spotlight right now because Becky's not there, because Ronda Rousey's not there, because Charlotte Flair's not there. You can make the argument for a bunch of women. Here's an idea. Remember that crazy angle that it looks like they were going to give Tamina where she was put in the nut house for like 1 week and we're all ooh ah excited?
Yeah.
What if Naomi starts this whole losing streak? Like, she got embarrassed with that whole karaoke thing. She got beaten by Lacey Evans in 2-3 minutes, whatever the fuck. And then she starts spiraling down, down, down. And then all of a sudden she just snaps and goes crazy. I mean, granted, I don't see them doing that because of the stuff that happened with her husband about a year ago, which she was, involved in. So that kind of put, the back burner on her because they had to, she took some time away to deal with that, which is, commendable.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that 100%. Booker was, and I'll say one more thing and then we'll get to you, Steve-O, is that Booker was right. Nobody deserves anything. That whole topic, that whole hashtag, while trying to be helpful, is not exactly the best thing. She just needs to keep working hard until they either give her a spot, or until, I mean, not give her a spot, but until she earns her spot, or until WWE has something for her to put her in that next level. That's all I got. That's really all I got to say about that.
Yeah, very nice, guys. Yeah, so I'm gonna just go over my thoughts really quick. I could see it from both standpoints. I mean, one hand, like mentioned, Naomi's a former 2-time champ, long-time veteran. She's been in the 3rd season of the reality version of NXT. She's been with the company for a long time, and since then, she's actually been very talented. Always has put on solid performances. And I actually, while you guys were discussing, was taking a look at her, how many followers she has on Facebook. She's maybe not quite at like some of the other stars like Charlotte or Becky Lynch, but she does have over 1 million followers. So she definitely has the popularity factor. I don't know, and I remember at some of our photo shoots, we've seen Naomi cosplayers. So I mean, she definitely has a fan base. So how big it is compared to Becky Lynch, Charlotte, or Bayley, or Sasha Banks for that matter, may not be as strong, but there definitely is a fan base. Now, that being said, I don't think everybody should be a world champion, or in this case, a women's world champion. It just isn't possible. You don't want to like give this participation trophy title around to everybody. So I do think she does deserve better than losing a match in 2 minutes to Lacey Evans. I mean, Lacey is a talented individual, but I think she's still a little green in the ring. But that being said, you also got to put over new stars, start establishing new people, because some people will get tired of the same old faces on TV. So with what Booker T said, I mean, it may have came off as a little rude. Some people could interpret that. I know Naomi didn't take it too lightly, and Sasha Banks even tweeted in her defense too. But I'm willing to see them try something different, especially if we're seeing Becky and Charlotte out of action. I just wish, they should just figure out some kind of angle that could be something that could be sufficient. Maybe she could start up a tag team again. Maybe team up with someone like Carmella or Dana Brooke for that matter. Maybe they can go for the tag titles. Just something to kind of keep her highlighted, and not these silly karaoke segments, which came off poorly for good reason. But yeah, I'm in between on it. That's just all I have to say about that. So we're gonna be moving on to the next segment. It is the cosplayer of the week, and he's a familiar face to me and Wildcard and even AJV. His name is Brad Scriffiano. He has been to many of the WWE Cosplay Day events at ASEN, and he has his Bray Wyatt Eater of Worlds gimmick has gained a lot of popularity, especially at WWE Access when he met the real Bray Wyatt. Who would like to start this one off?
I'm going then? All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Bray started cosplay. Brad, I should say, but Bray kind of works out anyway because he has a Bray Wyatt cosplay. Started cosplay around January of 2014 at OhioCon. I believe that's how it's pronounced there.
What a weird name for a con, let me tell you that.
And name for a con, yes.
Yeah, almost looks like a pirate Comic-Con in a sense. He first got into wrestling back in the early 1990s and was an avid Hulk Hogan fan. Who was it, brother? He watched everything up to the early 2000s, and then he, of course, like everybody, fell off interest around 2007, 2010, like a lot of people have, and randomly started watching it again with Drew. And not long after that, his wife, Janelle, got hooked. She has been previously featured as a cosplayer of the week on the cosplayer of the week segment, so that's pretty cool.
Shout out Janelle.
Yep, shout out to Janelle.
Oh yeah. So some of his favorite wrestlers include The Undertaker, Jake the Snake Roberts, Bray Wyatt, of course, Macho Man Randy Savage, Paige, and Mark Henry, just to name a few.
I guess I'll take it from here.
Yep.
All right. My signature cosplays, I feel, have been different versions of Bray Wyatt. He's sported the Hawaiian shirts to the leather vest and darker hat with redesigning the white pants. Since he felt he started late in the cosplay game compared to others, he knows he's a bit limited. Nothing wrong with that. He doesn't like to keep doing the same thing over and over sometimes. And an outside job at the time had me end up shaving my head and beard once, and I ended up becoming Attitude Era Big Boss Man.
It's one of his best right there. Let me tell you, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. I guarantee you'll love it.
Yeah, it really is a split image.
Honestly. Yeah, it is. For the past couple of appearances at the Anime Central, ASIN, he's done more group cosplays. So one of the first ones was Curtis Axel as part of the Miztourage. And last year, he was Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good stuff with there. Some of his outside of wrestling cosplays include, so he attends a lot of horror conventions. He was Bray Wyatt at that EJV. You said you met him there at Days of the Dead, was it?
Yeah, Days of the Dead 2016.
Very nice. But he was Bray there, but he's also been the Babadook.
All right, I'll take the last one. So the future is wide open. He would love to cosplay some version of Undertaker, and of course pull off both a Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt and Fiend look, along with various other perhaps comic characters that he loves.
Yeah, we're gonna show off cosplays right now. So check them out. We are back, and that was Brad. Great work, and as always, if you too wish to be a future cosplayer of the week, please submit your stuff over to the Too Sweet Cosplay Facebook page. You might be featured in a future episode.
Send us your stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So
send us your stuff. Okay, I had to get a second one in. Sorry. Last segment
move
here.
On to the last segment of the week. It's something a little different, may include some wrestling, may include some stuff that's more based on conventions, but unless you've lived under a rock, San Diego Comic-Con is one of the biggest Comic-Cons around, and unfortunately, due to the pandemic, it is not going on in San Diego physically this year, but fortunately for all of us, there's San Diego Comic-Con at home. So there's a lot of panels going on line this week. You can go on to IGN, you can go on to various YouTube channels or whatever you will to go find some of these videos. There's a lot of great ones out there. So I want to ask you guys, are there any any panels you're looking forward to this weekend? Have you watched any of the panels that have been going on? And what do you think of the at-home convention concept? Do you think it's something that is sufficient enough for now? Or do you think that it just can't beat the real thing? Who would like to start this one off?
I will go first.
Go ahead.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, I think it's great for what it is. I mean, we're all living in a weird time right now of like, okay, what is going to be our new normal? I would hope that hopefully by the end of this year or 2021, we can get to back to some normals of what cons represent. With us getting together with our friends, for a lot of us, myself included, cons are the only time that I get to release, get to get out of the house and actually get to socialize with my peers and get to hang out with you guys for things. So hopefully we can get back to whatever some sort of normalcy where we can meet celebrities and voice character actors and all that stuff. But I think for now it's good for what it needs to be. Uh, Not just San Diego Comic Con, but there are other conventions like Galaxy Con where they have certain shows where you can interact with the stars of the show, and you could pay to like get a personalized autograph sent to you, like you would pay if you were to meet them for an autograph at a physical comic convention, or you can pay to do like a 2 minute uh, video chat, which I guess would be the equivalent of taking the professional photo with them, or you can talk with them for 2 minutes. They'll record your video conversation with them, so you have it as a keepsake. I'm going to be doing a autograph for Rachel Saxton, I believe her name is, the actress from Batwoman who played Alice. If you're a fan of the show Batwoman, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But in relation to San Diego Comic Con, a lot of the panels are great. I saw the Elite Squad panels for the WWE action figures earlier today. Very exciting stuff. It's going to burn a hole in my financial situation, but as a wrestling fan and as an action figure collector, I'm very excited. So yeah, I think with this pandemic, cons are doing what they need to be for us as we try to adjust to whatever our new normal is.
All right. Thank you there, Nico. Definitely agree. EJV, you want to share your thoughts?
No, not really, but I am going to anyways. But no, I'm kidding. Yeah, of course. I'll be straight up, and this is not anywhere towards the real thing. Do I think it's a good idea? Yeah, because it still allows not only us to get the information that we want for things like video games, movie releases, wrestling figure announcements, like Nico mentioned. I mean, is it ever going to be the same, like going to an actual con, walking the floor, checking out the vendors, saying hi to your friends, and going to the after parties? No.
Hanging out at our booth.
Yes, hanging out at the Too Sweet Cosplay booth, which you can catch at a con near you. But yeah, it's not the same. It never will be. They're just doing the physical real thing. But for now, this is a good substitute. It's we're still able to get the information that we want. The vendors, the talent who are doing these different projects are still allowed to be able to promote what they want to promote, and that's good for them. That means they still have a job. That means they still are able to get their product out. And we all know about business. We know about products. We know about promotion, because that's what we do here on this podcast and what we do every time we are at a convention. We're promoting ourselves, and that's what they're doing right now, and especially in this pandemic where nobody can be physically there. A lot of the panels and stuff, especially the WWE figure panel, I watched the video today. I thought it was great. Some of the announcements. We just saw an announcement, of course, before we came on from Jazzwares, the company that produces the AEW action figures, with the new Orange Cassidy figure prototype images that have just been released. By the way, check them out. They are badass. You can even put his hands in his pockets. But
hey, real quick, they just released the Bastard Pac images, so that's gonna be a new figure coming as well. Just real quick, that's also online.
Breaking news. Nice. Love it. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for, of course, the Bill and Ted Face the Music panel. I'm a huge fan of Bill and Ted. Hard rock, heavy metal guy myself. So definitely, there's going to be some cameos. I believe even believe if I remember right, the one and only, I believe Chris Jericho's going to be in it maybe, or I heard Alice Cooper's going to be in it again, so it'll be interesting for that.
Isn't Sheamus in the movie?
Sheamus is in the movie too.
Okay,
But,
I thought I saw him in the trailer today. I was like, wait,
yeah. But yep, and also for the wrestling fans, for those who may not know, there is an actual Lucha Libre panel that'll be taking place this weekend, which I'm interested to see. It's going to be featuring the guy who heads the promotion or heads the company that promotes CMLL out in Mexico, and the original Rey Mysterio will be talking as well, which will be interesting to watch. So I'm excited for a lot of different. There's a Family Guy panel coming up. I'm ready to watch. A few other panels I can't remember off the top of my head, but this is a great substitute for now, and I can't wait to see it. But it's not going to beat the real thing. That's for damn sure.
Very nice. Wild card. Share your thoughts as well.
It's a lot of thoughts, by the way. Just a heads up here. But
wait, he's gonna rant. He's gonna rant.
I'm essentially gonna pull a Nico here and potentially rant here. But
you're gonna give Dave LaGreca a run.
Well, we'll see. I'll let the viewers, listeners be the judge of this here.
I hope Steve-O brutally edits you out like he does.
All right. Shut up, man. All right. Anyway. It's a tough time. It's no secret how the world is right now, and the fact is that there's just virtually no cons in existence right now for obvious reasons, and it's very unfortunate. But if you think about it, it's probably for the best, because I mean, think about it. If cons were somehow allowed, and I want to ask you guys this here too. Let's say hypothetically cons were allowed under these conditions, no limits. Let me ask all you guys here, would you go, yes or no? Steve?
I'm going to go with no. I mean, the temptation certainly would be there, but no for now, just because the safety precautions aren't there. I know there are some cons going on right now that are doing it. Days of the Dead, Indianapolis, for example.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Fair enough there. Nico, what do you got?
It all depends, honestly. I mean, the easy answer is no. I mean, that's a no-brainer, especially with my health and my immune system. Yeah. But for me, if it's somebody that is like, oh my goodness, I really want to see this person. I mean, if I had you guys there, like if I know, okay, he's gonna roll with me. Andy's gonna be there, Steve-O's gonna be there, or at least if I know a few people that are gonna be there, then I know, okay, I'll make the most of it, because, and I'm not trying to say that like, oh, I'm immune to this disease, or to this pandemic, because I'm not, but like, you only live once, man. I mean, yeah. I'm not trying to say that, hey, I would go to these conventions, but I mean, if it was somebody that I really wanted to see, or something was going on that I really wanted to check out, and if I could convince E to get in the car with me, which isn't really that hard to convince him, all I have to say is, hey, I have B-dubs, just drive, and he will get in the car.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
E, yes or no?
I'm gonna go with you guys on that. Yeah, definitely.
So you would actually go to a con even with all this stuff going on?
Well, for me, I mean, I would personally, just because, it would be too tempting not to go. But the problem, there's a double-edged sword with this.
Yes.
It depends on who you have. It depends on your family's thing, because this virus can transfer from person to person.
Exactly.
For me, all my family members, except for me, are immunocompromised.
Yes.
I have a sister who's disabled. She's immunocompromised. Okay. I got a sister who's got heart problems. She's immunocompromised. My dad has had surgery after surgery after surgery.
Sure.
He's immunocompromised. And my mom, she's old. She's a smoker, and she's got health issues herself. So she's compromised. So it would be a double-edged sword. I could go and have a great time, and I want to, but at the same time, I don't want to risk my family's health and safety.
See, That's good. That's good. I mean, you got to take that into consideration there too, because I feel like not to, I'm not going to name any names or anything, but I know some people within the con community who unfortunately would be a little bit selfish and probably would go, whether or not they wear masks or not. But I think it'd be incredibly foolish to actually do that under these conditions, because you're not only putting yourself at risk at contracting this virus, but you're also putting, like E said, like your loved ones, your family, your friends at risk there too. I mean, is it really worth it just for a whole weekend? Yes, there may be some celebrities that you have to meet there too, but honestly, and this is just a big picture standpoint here. Cons are going to happen again. Cons will definitely happen again at some point, whether it be next year, maybe it'd be 2 years from now, hopefully not any longer than that. Because I mean, we all miss cons. I miss cons. I miss just hanging out with friends. I love meeting new people. I love cosplaying. I love going to the vendors hall. I mean, I there's so much about it, and there's no secret like as to why we're doing this, because I mean we wouldn't be recording this podcast if it wasn't for cons,
We all met at cons. We all met at cons.
Exactly. I met these fools at cons. But here's the long story short here. I thought it was a smart move from San Diego Comic-Con's point to just cancel the whole thing. I believe Dragon Con canceled too.
Yeah,
I mean those are the big cons like in the nation there too. And yet you still have these smaller cons still trying to promote themselves, thinking that this is going to blow over, but it's not. I mean, if you got to face reality here. I mean, we're living in the real world right now. Unfortunately, this thing is real, and there's, as much as I hate to admit it, but I mean, there's a bigger world out there than cons right now, and you got to take that into consideration. As much as I love it, I want to keep myself safe. I want to keep myself healthy. And I want to make sure that when cons do come back again, I want to make sure that everybody is safe and that everybody is having a good time and nobody has to worry about this, because nobody in that environment should have to worry about this, because it's a great time. It's positive energy. If you're not having a good time, you shouldn't even be there. You shouldn't be at a con if you're not having a good time. So, there's just a lot of things that that plays into that I feel like that I can talk about like constantly here, but I'm just going to leave it at this. And my answer to my own question is no, I wouldn't go to any cons right now, just because of what's going on in the world. And I think that, the whole, I love the idea of the online cons, but it's just not the same. I mean, I just feel like that the experience is just not the same. Also, on a side note here, you also got to take into consideration those who they make a living off of cons, the vendors there too. I mean, they're losing a lot of money. They're losing a lot of revenue for not being at these cons, because they're showcasing a lot of their stuff, their artwork, their merchandise, and they're not making money out of it. So for all you listeners, all you watchers out there, find your local vendor and support them as much as you can. Okay, I'm done.
All right. So before we wrap this up, I want to go with my take. We might have to go into double, triple overtime, but no. So quick story. I went to San Diego Comic-Con back in 2015. I've heard back and forth stories. People are like, oh my God, there's so many people there. Yes, there are. And that people are like, oh, I could just watch it online. I could just see this panel online. I can see the trailer for this new movie online. I mean, yes, that's also true, but actually being there versus watching it on the computer doesn't even compare, not even the slightest. So I went to the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series panel. All the voice actors were there. There was Seth Green. Trying to think of all the ones. But yeah, Rob Paulson. The guy who does the voice of Beast Boy on Teen Titans was there. And yeah, great panel. Sean Astin was there. I actually got to meet him. Very nice guy. But in short, yeah, it was just it's an incredible experience seeing like all these people in action. You get to meet. I mean, you don't even have to pay. You may have to wait in a lengthy line, but you can meet some of these voice actors or even some actors here and there. I got to meet Kevin Michael Richardson from. He does a lot of voice acting. He's on The Simpsons these days. He's the voice of Shredder from the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you hear his voice, you're going to know who that guy is. Very, very friendly guy. But to kind of get into this topic a little more, I do appreciate the fact that San Diego Comic-Con is having these panels online. Earlier, I watched Bugs Bunny's 80th anniversary. Billy West is a voice actor for Bugs Bunny these days, and Elmer Fudd as well. He actually does a very good voice of them. So I like seeing stuff like that, like stuff that I'm like, wouldn't normally consider if I see a panel for it. I do think it's awesome just to get some more information that you wouldn't regularly consider. I did watch the WWE action figure panel for a little while, like during my lunch break at work today. I thought that was great. A panel I didn't get to watch, but I do want to check out is for the series Upload on Amazon Prime. You definitely should check it out. It might even be an indication of the future for all we know, but you know, they are making up for what is lacking. You may not be able to go and experience these conventions, but the fact that you get to just get some information, get a relief from all this COVID-19 stuff. It's very nice being able to get away, get some news on things that you do enjoy. You do not have the con experience. We don't get to go hang out and do wrestling cosplay photo shoots. We don't have our booth at the conventions. That part does really suck, not being able to be around friends in a physical building capacity, but it is nice that we do have YouTube and Skype and Facebook, all that stuff to kind of keep in touch with one another and do stuff like this. But I do want to say thank you for San Diego Comic-Con for putting these entertaining panels out there for these crazy times. And there's a lot of good stuff this weekend. Like EJV mentioned, the Bill and Ted 3 panel is going to be going on. If you guys ever heard of Mega 64, they're doing a panel on Sunday. They're pretty much like a video game parody thing. Very funny stuff. Definitely check it out. I mean, I could go through the whole list, but I won't. There's a lot of panels. Go look up some of these panels, find out the times, go check them out. You won't regret it. And thank you for the cons putting these stay-at-home conventions on while we're in these times. It's maybe not the same, but it's definitely a nice getaway to go to at these times of need. So that's pretty much it for the episode. We want to thank you guys for checking out the video, showing your support. We always appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And if you have a panel you're looking forward to this weekend, share your thoughts with us on what you think. And also follow us at Too Sweet Cosplay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And next week we might be trying something a little different. We can't confirm the full details yet, but based on the feedback of the survey, we definitely want to hear your feedback. What you think of these topics? What you think of the interface we currently have? We definitely want to know. We want to hear your opinions as well.
Yes, we're definitely open to any kind of feedback that you guys have for us to help improve the podcast, so that way we can make it very enjoyable for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, we aim to please. We can't physically go to cons right now, but we aim to please. And don't worry, guys. I can tell you, if you're a big TV junkie like me, and you're wondering, like, man, am I gonna hear some stuff about my favorite shows? Since a lot of shows that usually come out in the fall with their new seasons, since they're getting pushed back to January of next year, some stuff will be coming out this weekend for certain shows during San Diego Comic-Con. So just pay attention, stay safe, stay smart, stay healthy, and we love you guys.
Cons will be back.
But yeah, definitely thank you guys for watching this. We appreciate you guys all the time watching this, liking our stuff. Please keep sharing, keep liking, all that good stuff. In the meantime and in between time, like Eagle said, stay safe, wear your mask, and just do the right thing so we can help others be safe during this pandemic.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, I mean, guys, seriously, even if it's something that you're not comfortable with or something that you don't agree with, try not to think of yourself for a minute here, and just think of other people and be like, okay, what's best for society here as a whole?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we got enough problems in this world. A bunch of movements left and right. let's just be smart, guys. Love you all.
Yep, definitely.
All right, everyone. Have a great day. Too sweet, y'all. Enjoy San Diego Comic-Con weekend.